afternoon, and welcome to the Ask Dr. Renee show. If you've never watched the show before, this show is here solely to help to motivate and inspire you to live the life you deserve. Because guess what? This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the only one we have. So we might as well live it up. So all my guests, to me, motivate and inspire me. So I think that they would motivate and inspire you. And their stories, to me, are pretty amazing. And they always, like I said, after I hear one of their stories or think about their stories, because most of them I do know ahead of time, their stories are so inspiring. And it's like, it shows you that we can do anything. You just got to put your mind to it. And with all of the lovely tools we have now in the world, oh my God, things are so much easier. So I am so excited to bring our guest today. In case you've never watched before, we've had in the past, last week we had Cherry Johnson from Punky Brewster and Family Matters, Teddy Riley, we've had D Nice, Lisa Nichols, we had Cece Michaela from the show Girlfriends. I have really been bringing you this season, though, my people, my team. So this is another one of my coaches, but I brought you Cassandra Cummings, my coach, Draka Jones, my coach, Jay the Trader, my coach. So I am trying to help everyone get where the money resides because let's face it, money gives you options. Money is not the root of all evil. Money gives us options. And in 2021, I think we should have options because 2020 hit a lot of people really hard. And so 2021, you need to have the option of, do you really want to go back to that job or not? So my guest today is Brandi Riley, who is amazing in her own right. I cannot wait for you to hear her story and all the amazing things she's doing for me and others. And so, Brandi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Renee. I'm excited to be here.
So first of all, I usually tell everyone how I know people. So like I said, Brandi's my coach. But Brandi said our first coaching session, she goes, I think we've met. I'm sure she's right, too, because I don't go to the very few blogging conferences. And she was like, no. I said, oh, my God, I think we have met. So we met at a blogging conference, and I was a part of her group. I was not the most vocal person in the group, but I was a part of her group and would, chime in when I saw. And actually, I did receive a wonderful, as you know, opportunity from the group. 2 people in the group recommended me for a gig, and it was wonderful. I did it in COVID. It was great. I did a hosting gig. We have to say something to our fellow blogger sister, Soca Mom, Eva Wilson.
Eva, hey Eva.
So Brandi, let's start at the beginning. What did you want to be when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I wanted to be a writer, a television host, a lawyer, a teacher. I wanted to be someone who was important, really. Someone who was important and also who helped people. And I did a lot of writing when I was younger. I won like writing contests in elementary school and middle school and stuff like that. I used to write letters to the editor of the newspaper all the time. That was just like, I've always been like an opinionated, outspoken person who uses their words to do stuff. And then as I got older and I went to college, I remember I was going for marketing because in high school, I kind of fell into a marketing club. DECA, I don't know if you guys had that.
I do. Yes. I've heard of it. I know lots of my friends' children that have been involved in it. Yeah.
It was a great club. We learned all about selling and marketing and things like that. And we had like mock sales trainings and all that. And I did really well in it. So I thought, okay, when I go to college, I want to major in actually not just marketing, but marketing education to be like a marketing teacher. And I remember one of my English teachers that first year pulled me out and was just like, I was just in like a regular, like an English 101, college English. And she was like, listen, you don't belong in this class. You are an intellectual. You really need to, think about English as a path or, go deeper with it. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. So instead of doing English as a major, I did English as a minor. And I did theater because I was really interested just in deeper stories. And so after like going and talking to different deans at different schools, I was like, okay, theater seems like it would give me all of the English and the reading and the theory and stuff, but also that entertaining piece that I hadn't let go of from when I was a kid. And I did. I went to school for theater and for English as a minor, and I graduated and I started doing theater across the East Coast. I did regional theater, doing family theater and stuff like that, and kind of, again, falling, I guess I can't really call it falling into, but like my path always directing me where it needs to go. And so doing education. So I started writing curriculum around the plays that we were doing and then teaching workshops to kids. And I was like, this is what I love more than anything. So, when you're an actor, you just interviewed Sherry. So, like there's the auditions and you have to wait for somebody to hire you. And it was just like, it really kind of, you have to be built for that. And at that time,
we talked about that. I told her that, I always try to figure out why are people placed in my life.
Yeah.
And the reason me and her became friends is for me to understand what that life was. And to figure out that I don't think I was built for it.
Yeah.
Because I remember when she called and told me that Girlfriends was over. And I was like, okay. And then she goes, what am I going to do? And I'm thinking, I don't know. But, I'm trying to just be the good friend to listen, but. And like I said, I figured out then that listening to her struggle, that wasn't the struggle that I was meant for.
No, it's a hard struggle. I want to shout out Cassandra's here.
Yes, I was about to say, we have to say hi to Cassandra.
That's my money queen. Hey,
yes,
Cassandra.
That's what I said. Yes, that's what I call her. My queen of my money team.
Yes.
Brandi will get on me, and Eva. I did not do my housekeeping. You guys have to share, comment, like, share. I think the watch party disappeared yesterday. I think was the last day. Did you know that? Facebook got rid of the watch party?
Yeah.
Or you knew. Yes. Comment, like, share. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel.
Yes.
Very important. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can know when I have a new video. I'm trying to get as many videos going as I possibly can.
You are rocking, Renee.
Show every Saturday, which
I
do. But I'm trying to give you all more content as well. So let me make sure I do that. And lastly, text Live Life to 66866 if you want to get on my email list. We have big news coming. So make sure you're on the list so you know first all that's going on. Share here on YouTube. Yes, Eva, thank you. Share here on YouTube. But make sure you text Live Life to 66866 so you will be first. That's who gets the announcements first about what's happening. So make sure you
come on and promote it. Yes, Dr. Renee.
Yes, and look, and then this is the other queen of my money team, Miss Ashley, who is going to end up in the hot seat one day. We're gonna get her there. But hi, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
So what school did you go to?
I went to Fayetteville State University in North Carolina. It's at HBCU.
Yes.
And they were primarily known for education. Like it started as a teacher's college. And I just love the HBCU experience.
Now, where are you from?
I'm from all over. I was born in Philadelphia. I have a lot of my family in Philadelphia. A lot of my family is in South Carolina. So I was born in Philadelphia. My dad was in the Air Force. So I lived in New Mexico and Germany and a bunch of other places. But landed for like high school and college in North Carolina, and then did 10 years because it kind of felt like a sentence in Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia. If any Philadelphia folks are watching, but it's a tough city, especially when I was doing theater and going from gig to gig. You're not making a ton of money, and then I started working in nonprofit, which was deeply fulfilling. But I also wasn't making a lot of money, so it was just like, it felt very much like a struggle. And then I became a single mom, and that kind of like propelled me into thinking bigger. So I was kind of in a space where I was thinking of myself, and still do, as a servant leader, so I was living in the community. I was serving the community through the nonprofit. I was working really, really hard. And I was, like I said, my soul felt very fulfilled. I felt like I was serving my purpose. But once I had my daughter, I was like, my purpose can include making money also. And it needs to. Like, I started thinking about like all the things that I was good at and that I loved doing. And I decided to start a blog. And that's when my entire life changed, so everything that I had
first
done.
I have to ask a silly question. So
yeah.
You're in Philly and you were on the acting scene. Did you ever run into Jill Scott?
I didn't, because by that point, Jill was like big. Jill was all the way like she was doing her that HBO series and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
but
yes,
yes,
that was a great show. Okay.
yeah. But I was able to go to, there was this little club that I would frequent where Jill Scott and like all the neo soul people would play. Yeah. I mean, it was just like, I would go all the time, just hoping to, I don't know, just wanting to be in that artistic scene. It was an interesting era in Philly during the early 2000s. It was really cool.
Well, I mean, Philly had Kindred, they had Jill, they had music.
And Kindred, they were everywhere, like they're, and Vivian Green also, do you remember her? Oh my gosh, Vivian Green.
Background singer for Jill.
Yes, yeah, and like this was that era, so you
Kwame, who is her producer and has been putting out her most recent albums, has been on my show. FYI.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, you got to get Vivian Green. I wonder what she's doing. She's just like a beautiful soul. Like, yeah, you got to get her on the show.
So first of all, what is a blog for those people that, I don't know how they missed it, but how do they not know, but what is a blog?
So a blog it's short for weblog, and it is basically an online journal. That's what it started as for most people, an online journal where you just like write your life out. Now a blog has turned into like a digital platform where you share all sorts of different things. Now the blog that I ended up starting, that is like the blog that I've had for 11 years now, wasn't my first blog. While I was in Philly and I was acting and stuff like that, I had a blog that was all about me applying for grad school. Spoiler alert, I did not get in. I applied to Yale. That was the only school I was applying to, was Yale, for acting. And, to be honest,
School of Drama.
Yale School of Drama. And I am a very good actor. It's not that. The issue was I didn't prepare. I was so focused on writing about the experience and, just like doing a lot of reading about like actors who had gone there. Like usually when you apply for acting school, you will get an acting coach, and, like it's like any other grad school experience. You put time and energy into your application. And I just like put it in, even the day of my audition. Normally you would go up and you would stay the night. My best friend and I were like, the morning of my audition, like, girl, we got to get out of here. Like, come on, let's go. Like, I didn't. But the cool thing was I had so many people who followed that blog and who were so interested in just like all the other stuff that I was doing, that I kept that in the back of my head. Like, okay, the writing part is really cool. And like, I enjoy having people commenting, and, I would see people in person, friends and stuff who would ask me about things that I was writing about. And I was like, oh, this is very interesting. So when I had my daughter, a year after having her, I decided to go back to that. Like, let me see if I can really do something with this writing thing. And I did. I did. It worked out. So yeah. That's kind of my journey.
So what was your first platform that you blogged on?
Blogger. So Blogger.
Most people started at Blogger.
Yeah, Blogger is
a free, you guys. Platform. It was it's Google, right?
It's Google, yeah. And it's still there. It's still free. Yes. You can update the look of it and stuff. And I know a lot of bloggers. I know one blogger in particular. She has a book that has been published. She has hundreds of thousands of followers, and she's still on Blogger. She's still on this free platform. So, if you do have a story that you want to tell, before you start investing a whole bunch of money into it, I would say, go ahead and start writing and see if you're going to be consistent with it before you start, worrying about designing a whole website on a platform where you're paying for it every single month or annually, whatever.
I always tell people that self-hosted is the way to go, only because I've heard too many nightmare stories where, for whatever reason, the entity just took their stuff down.
It's true. It's true. Now that is true. But here's what I would do. I would write, once you copy your content, put it on a Google Doc. My thing is, I just know, being a coach and having worked with so many different people, and also being someone who has a lot of ideas, people have ideas all the time and they don't follow through with them, right. And I have personally I would say 2019 was probably the year that I ended up spending so much money on like ideas that, well, no, maybe it was 2018, but I spent so much money on ideas that never came to fruition because honestly, they weren't well thought out. I just, kind of threw them together on a whim and, I didn't follow through. And so if you aren't like, folks, when they're starting new projects, especially digital projects, they have like these big plans in their head, which is super exciting. But there's no point in putting like thousands of dollars into getting this beautifully made website until you're sure that you're going to stick with it. I had a PR person send me an email the other day for a new blogger. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, if you want to interview her. And I went to her blog and there were 2 posts, you guys, 2 posts. And I went to her Instagram and there were 3 pictures. And I'm like, what am I going to interview you about? Like you have this PR person and you haven't created any content yet. Like we want to know what we can, I don't even know what I would talk about with you yet. Right. So, yeah.
That's too funny. That's terrible. But so you were on Blogger. So how did you, so what were you doing and blogging?
So I was still working at the nonprofit. I was creating curriculum, training teachers and youth workers. So folks who work with young people. So I did hiring and recruiting and training for this nonprofit organization that worked with children during the school year and after school and summer for summer camp and academic enrichment programs. In addition to that, I was doing some freelance teaching. So I taught playwriting and acting classes with different theaters throughout the city. So I was doing just kind of everything to make ends meet, but also to kind of fill me. I have so many different things that I'm interested in. And so it was really important to me to make sure I was still active in all of these different arenas. And then when I started my blog, everything just started kind of picking up really quick. I went to a conference, and I always tell this story that I had to borrow money. It was only $99, and I had to borrow $99 from my little brother to buy a ticket for this conference. And I went to the conference. It was called Bloggy Boot Camp, and it changed everything for me. It really changed.
Now, who put that on?
Pardon?
Who put that on?
That was put on by, it was called SITS back then, but now it's called Sway.
Oh, I remember.
Sway and now Sway. So Tiffany Romero, they put this conference on, and it was basic, just different things. Like even before I went, they sent out some information and they were like, listen, if you have .blogspot, you need to just pay $7 and get your blog name. And I was like, okay, did that. mamaknowsitall.com, and when I went there, they just had so much information about, creating content and how to make money. And there was another company there, Social Fabric, that ended up being the first place that I ever made money from my blog with. And then I ended up working for them full time, managing their community programs. So, it really did change my whole life. Going to that starting this blog and going to that conference really changed everything that I thought I wanted in my life professionally.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. And Eva said she remembers SITS. Yeah,
I remember it was called, too. Yeah.
It was a support thing. It was like the secret is in the support or something like that. Secret is in the support or something. But they used to do these really cool on Saturdays. It would be like a comment train, where you would put your blog and people would come and comment on your blog, and it was just really all about supporting women entrepreneurs, digital platform owners. It was really, really cool. And they're still doing that now. They still hire women all the time.
Yeah. And I'm a member of Sway. I get all their emails.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So Mama Knows It All.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you have to tell the story of how you found your husband and ended up leaving Philly.
Yes. So the blog, I'm telling you, the blog opened up so many doors. So I was at a conference in Indianapolis for my job, for my nonprofit job. It was a summer learning conference. And I was there and I was in the lobby because this is before, all the rooms had free Wi-Fi. So I was in the lobby because it had Wi-Fi working on a blog post. And the man who would become my husband came over and was like, can you watch my computer? I need to run up to my room. And at the time, again, I was a single mom. I was still nursing because my daughter is very young and I had to go pump. And I was like, listen, you need to hurry up because I'm about to go to my room. Like, I was just so rude, just so rude. And then he came back and he asked, like, where do you work? And I told him and I asked where he worked. And interestingly, I had went to a workshop a few months before that had done like a case study on the nonprofit that he works at. And I was just like kind of a groupie for the nonprofit. And I was like, oh my gosh, you work there. And, and then he just followed me around the rest of the conference. Like, we went to an event at the Indianapolis Colts Stadium. And I was like, well, I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to leave early and go shopping. He's like, I'll come with you. And he brought me a milkshake and, he just followed me around. And then when it was time to leave at breakfast, I ripped off a piece of paper and wrote my phone number down and gave it to him. He gave me his. And I was in the shuttle on the way to the airport and I texted him and we've been texting and talking and calling ever since. And we dated long distance for about 2 years. And one day I was just like, I think we're going to move to California. He had come to visit me. My daughter and I had come out here to California a couple times. And, I loved his family, loved him, and was just like, we're going to come out here. And so this is when it gets tricky because I was not engaged. We were not like talking about getting engaged or anything like that. I told him I wanted to be married. And when we moved out here, I was just like, in my head, I was like, if he doesn't propose, he has a year. If he doesn't propose, I'm moving out, and we were staying in the same apartment. He had generously given up his bedroom so my daughter and I could sleep in there. And we were in a 1-bedroom apartment. He's sleeping on his couch. And within 6 months, he proposed. And a year to about the same week that we moved to California was our wedding date. We got married then. But, it was a learning curve because he was a bachelor. He wasn't used to having a woman there, to having a child there, but he jumped into fatherhood with both feet. Like, he was the one who found her preschool. He was the one who joined the board of her preschool, like, immediately. And he just really took to it. And for me, as a single mom, that was really just important to me. Like, we're a package deal. And I will tell you guys, with that relationship was really, well, having my daughter, I think, and that relationship really gave me an opportunity to test out like self-love and, self-respect and really advocating for my own self-worth. Because I remember telling him once, I'm not auditioning to be your wife. I love you. I gave up everything that I have to move here. And, you either believe it or you don't. And within a week of me saying that, that's when I had my engagement ring, But I will tell you, everything was working out. Everything was working out because I feel like I was really putting myself and my needs first, myself and my daughter's needs first ahead of everything, work-wise, relationship-wise, and everything, like learning to put myself first really changed like the trajectory of everything in my life. Because before that, I was a huge people pleaser. I was really doing a lot of just wanting to make other people happy, even to the expense of my own self, professionally and personally. And once I stopped doing that, then the whole world really just opened up.
Wow. So you moved to California and
Yeah.
So you're blogging. So what are you doing? Like, what are you doing then with your blog? And
yeah, so I moved to California. I was working part-time with Social Fabric, which made it easy for me to move because I had a job. It was remote. And then I went full-time with them. Then I got promoted. And then I just kind of outgrew that job. And I moved on to another position working with Blog Her. Did I work with Blog Her first? No, first I was working for myself. Here's a lesson that I learned. You got to have a plan if you want to work for yourself before you quit a job. So I quit my job. I was making money, like I was making good money. But when you work, and Renee, you know this, when you work as a creator and your money is coming at all different times, you know, and it's like 30 days or 60 days or sometimes 90 days, and you don't have a plan for how you're going to work out your expenses and stuff, things can get out of hand really quickly. So after about 4 to 6 months of working for myself, I was like, I need something more consistent. And quite frankly, for my husband, even though, and I always try to say this because everybody's situation is different. And so, you know, there are different risks that I can afford to take because I definitely have the privilege of a partner who can take care of everything on his own. However, that's not like, that doesn't bode well for his stress levels, right? So being able to have support eases pressure on him when he already has enough pressure. So for him, it was just like, you know, even if you could get something part-time that was consistent or something that could help out with health insurance or something, that would be beneficial. And so I started working part-time contracting with Facebook, which opened up another world of like opportunities to me. And during that time, I also started Courage to Earn. Now, Courage to Earn is what is now a digital platform that's a resource for entrepreneurs. Before, it was a community, a full community on Facebook. We had 6,600 people. I just closed it earlier this year just because kind of outgrew it. But that's when I started Courage to Earn. And I started coaching and working with entrepreneurs and really just wanting to use everything that I had learned at the nonprofit about education and building curriculum and writing and supporting folks into supporting women instead of children at this point. And that, again, was just a whole different world. And it's interesting just how life takes you on these different paths where, you know, 10 years ago, I could never have planned, it was never even a thought for me, like, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to support women. But that's kind of where the path led me to. Now, after that, I started working at BlogHer, which was great because my mentor is the owner of BlogHer. She had just sold the company, and, you know, being able to work with her on developing the events and managing social media and all that was really, really amazing. But social media is hard. You know, and everybody wants to work in social media. People love, you know, like they think, oh, I'm just going to be a social media manager. It is a lot of work. It's stressful. And if you want to take a break, it's hard you kind of get addicted to the adrenaline of tweeting with people or email, you know, messaging people on Facebook or writing captions or sharing everything. And I'm really kind of a private person. So after a while, and I had my son during that period, it was just like, this isn't a good fit anymore. So I kind of went back to what I was doing at Facebook. Now I work at a tech company in trust and safety. So helping to develop the policies around how people are engaging and developing policies around like the language that we're managing and how we're managing that. And I also am running Courage to Earn as a digital platform, founded a program called the Influencer Activist Toolkit, which gives influencers, lifestyle influencers, tools on how to use their platform to inform and educate about really important things. And then Mama Knows It All is getting ready for a new relaunch. I've just kind of been skating on Mama Knows It All. I'm just being honest about that, y'all, because I don't want people to think that you can do it all, like at 100% level, because you can't. So Mama Knows It All is like a passive income source for me because I have ads on there. Which we can talk about ad revenue, but I have ads on there. So it's a passive income source, but it'll be 11 years old next month. So I'm relaunching it with like a new design and all that kind of stuff so that it can really be different than what it was when I started, which was a personal, like me sharing my personal journey and more tips and really helpful information for every mom.
Awesome. Yeah, my website, my blog has I think it's 12 this year.
Yes.
May, I think is actually the month. I think it's May 8th. May's gonna be a big month. But I am horrible about being consistent, but I finally did. As a matter of fact, I think what happened was I got accepted to She Knows Media, and so I was supposed to put the stuff on, and then something horrible happened to the site, and so I text my web developer who takes my messages all night and day, like 2 a.m. Yes. He's like, he fixed it by the next morning. And I was like, thank you, because I don't know what I hit, but I hit something. So I need to go back and fix that. But I think I do have Google maybe ads on there. But my revenue source with the blog is that I have it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
other companies see that, oh, you have it. Well,
Yep.
you know, oh, okay, well, could you do this and can you do that? I'm sure I can.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone that blue check on Facebook is what really ushered me into a whole lot of things. Like I didn't have to, like I would pitch or I just didn't have to pitch. And I even had a company pitch me and they wanted to give me free products. And I was like, and I read it and I read it again and I go, okay, but why would I want this? So my sister's like, well, you better ask them for money. I said, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it. I still don't know what I said in that email, but I turned it back around and was like, so I don't really need that.
Yeah.
So she said, well, what are your rates? And sent it over. There was no argument. I told my mom I must have went too low.
Magic words. Yeah.
They came right back and was like, that. Okay, we can pay that.
Yeah. But now you know for the next time, and you learn, you know.
Well, we still have a relationship and it's just gotten larger from there. So we're good.
Yeah, exactly. Elle says May 10th is her blog's 11th anniversary. I love that. Mine is May 6th. May 6th is my
and you know, Eva's is this month, and I think it's 10 years this month.
Are you serious? Oh man, we're OGs in this game.
Right. But yeah, so I understand the blog is just there, and just like the shows, I think I'm like 4 shows behind posting on the blog because there's a lot of buckets that I'm trying to keep in the air.
Yeah.
I'm juggling all the balls myself, and I'm like, like, you know, I book the show. I do the, you know, only thing I don't do is the editing, which we're behind on the editing because I don't do it. So I think I'm end up having to hire someone because my dear sweet intern is well, she's busy. I will say that.
Yeah.
She's a great person. She's busy. But yeah, so I understand it's hard to do it all. And then to be a mom on top of that and a wife, I don't even know. I mean, I have caregiver, which I guess we could kind of say next to mom. But, but yeah, so I completely understand. You know, people are always like, well, I don't understand how bloggers make money. Your blog is like, it's like your calling card. Like that's like your business card, and it just opens the door to so many other things.
It does. It does. And that's one of the things, like as a coach, that I tell bloggers all the time, because they're like, I'm not making any money from my blog. And then they start getting down on themselves. But I'm like, but you're making money as a result of your blog, you know, like the speaking opportunities, the products that people are buying because they found you from your blog, you know, you're making money on Instagram or even social media jobs that somebody might have hired you for because they knew that you're a blogger and they see that you have your own social and they just assume that you know everything about, you know, social media and the digital space and stuff like that. So, I mean, now making money from your blog is really basic. You can do affiliate links, which is like promoting products to people. They click on the link, and if they click on your link, then you get paid for it. Ad revenue, which I love because you just put ads on your site, and if people find you, you know, you get paid for them seeing the ads, or sponsored posts, which is not really sponsored posts are brands paying you to promote their product. Those aren't as relevant as social media posts anymore, but it still happens and you can still make money from it. But the biggest thing is just like, it makes you relevant. Your blog makes you relevant and stand out from anyone else who can say like, I'm a parenting expert, or I am I'm a fashion person, or I'm a whatever. Well, you have this body of work that proves that absolutely you are, you know? So regardless of your
long form text.
Exactly. Yep. So exactly.
Blogs are long form text.
Yeah.
So you want to be Googleable, as the word is.
That's it. Yeah.
Then you write a blog.
You write a blog. Yeah.
Find you.
Yeah. And you do YouTube videos like you, Renee. I mean, like, you know, you've been doing this show for how long? Consistently, you show up every single Saturday, you know, and that's what people don't understand. Like, there is, to me, looking at it, and as someone who also hires people for influencer campaigns, like, quite frankly, there is very little difference between the people who have like a YouTube channel with like hundreds of thousands of followers and the people who have like a moderate amount of followers, but they are consistently posting. brands are looking at them in the same way. They're like, because you can have 10,000 followers on YouTube, but you haven't posted a video in 7 months, that doesn't, they're not wanting, they don't want to work with you. You're not going to get paid to do a video. You're not going to get a sponsorship or anything. So consistency is so important. And we have to stop giving up on stuff so easily, you know, like, show up, keep showing up. And if you, especially if you feel passionate about it, if you feel drawn to it, like what's supposed to happen will happen, but it's not going to happen if you do something twice and, you know, and you expect people to be shooting off fireworks.
I talk to a lot of people who are like, I'm afraid to go live. I'm afraid, you know, no one's going to watch. And I was like, so what if no one's watching? You don't have to say that, because guess what? It's going to be recorded. Somebody will see it later.
Yeah.
So you don't have to address the fact, oh, no one's here.
Yeah.
You know, no, just talk. Just do what you have to do. Don't wait for people to come on. Just do what you have to do. Get off. And then let the video do what it's going to do.
That's right. And you get better. The more you do it, the better you get. The more you do it, the more you become an expert at. What is it they say? Like 10,000 hours of doing something helps you to become an expert at something. 10,000 hours is not actually that difficult to get to if you're doing something all the time.
Right.
For Courage to Earn, I've had that community for 5 years. I have well over 700 recorded videos. Most of these videos are anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour long. Like, that is a huge body of work that allows me to consider myself an expert in, you know, talking about and exploring the emotions behind making money, because I've talked about it so much. I've done so much research on it. I've, you know, educated people so much on it. And I have the proof to show, like, here, you know, I had somebody go through and create like an audit list for me. I hired somebody to do that. And I'm looking, I'm like, man, I don't even remember doing this, you know, but now I'm like, it's just good to have and remind yourself, like, yeah, I am that girl.
No, that's where I was the first time I did my very first reel.
Yeah.
Finished and I watched it. I cried. I was like, here I thought I was just sitting at home doing nothing. I said, oh my God, I've done something.
Yes. Yes. Man, it is so important to just kind of reflect on your wins, or not even your wins, but your showing ups. A lot of time is like coupled or combined together, it does become a win. You know, showing up for yourself, showing up for your audience consistently. Like, there are not a lot of people who can do that. A lot of people want to do that. A lot of people have dreams about doing that. They might even have notebooks with, you know, plans to do that, but actually doing it is, you know, I don't think
I have, you know, Facebook memories are so lovely. I have memories that show, oh, I just want to get to 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
And then I was like, then I had another one about 500 subscribers. And, you know, it was just crazy. I was like, wow, you know, and you just every little bit counts.
It does.
I forgot to remind everyone we have super chat and super stickers if you would love to help out the fund, and hopefully we can hire someone to edit these videos.
Yes.
Because the promo for last week was too cute. But but yeah, it's just you know, I just little by little, just like last year, you know, you set goals. Like this year, the goal is 10,000 subscribers. And I think we're almost at 2,500. So we'll get there.
Yeah.
And actually I have a friend who started after me who made 10,000 last week. And I was like, wow. So I know it's possible. So I just have to keep going. But yeah, last year I was like, I'm going to get monetized. That's what's going to happen. And the world shut down and I couldn't leave my house instead of hopping on planes every 5 minutes like I was used to doing. So I said, well, I guess we better start posting videos. And so I started posting videos and going live. And between the combination of both, I went from 400 hours in February, I think it was, to 4,000. And I got that 4,000 before Labor Day weekend, because that's when they admitted me at Labor Day weekend. So I already had the 1,000 subscribers. So that wasn't what I was working on. It was just getting people to watch and watch and watch and watch. And I mean, I have several videos that have gone viral that I did so long ago that I didn't even realize how many views they had.
Yeah.
There's a video I had on how to use Periscope, which is, may it rest in peace.
Oh, R.I.P. Periscope.
Right. It had 38,000 views.
Wow.
And then there's a video about how how to, so, IG Lives became extremely popular with
Yeah.
ID Nice and Club Quarantine. So I have a video on how to cast your IG from your tablet or phone to your television.
Yeah.
That every time there's a versus, the numbers go up. I get like 10 new comments.
Yes.
So we have versus on 420. We have Method Man and Redman.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that we'll see another uptick, but I always see, oh, thanks, sis. This worked perfectly.
Yeah.
Perfect directions.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that.
I have one about Facebook Watch and how
Parity.
yeah, so it's funny that these videos, they just keep getting views and
Yeah.
and these are videos, like I said, I did a while ago. Now the IG one I did last year, that Periscope one, oh my God, that thing's got to be greater than 10 years old.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you should do a follow-up video, Renee. Like Periscope is gone. This is what I learned from Periscope.
Well, they have the that Twitter thing. It's supposed to, haven't seen it yet, but there's supposed to be a Twitter replacement because Periscope was on Twitter.
Yeah.
So there's supposed to be some replacement because even the multicast that I do, I multicast to Periscope. There's supposed to be something that we'll be multicasting to in place of that. So I think once they get that going, maybe I'll do that video. But yeah, and then even when people talk about certain people, like when people, there's a lot of people, not us, but people that didn't know who D-Nice was, but all of a sudden, our forever first lady was in the room, and then he was on the morning news, not BET News, the morning news on CBS and Today's Show and etc. So that video became popular again. It's just whenever people start talking, Michelle Williams has a book coming out, and so that episode probably will become popular.
Yeah.
So, just little things, because YouTube is the second largest search engine behind its father, Google.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, you go searching, and I've done the best to go back because I've learned a lot. So I've gone back and fixed a whole lot of SEO when it comes to my videos, so that I do pop up. Because I had somebody whom I don't know say, when I typed in something about when they were trying to do the IG thing with verses, they said I was at the top of the list, my video. Who knew?
Oh, that's great. That's great. One person, Stephanie Perry from Vicarious, she is amazing. She has a YouTube course, and she went from, at the beginning of the year, I think she had 1,000 YouTube followers. She's at like 40,000 now, because she uses SEO and all these kind of things. But you guys, I'm just telling you, like, can we just take a second to just like appreciate Black women? Because like, this is how I feel about Black women. And I said this last year during like all the pandemic and, the Black Lives Matter social justice stuff. We don't just get information. Like, Black women be teaching, like like Renee, you are a full-fledged doctor. You don't have to be on here every Saturday, using your platform to introduce new people to your audience and stuff like that. But like, we just innately, we want to serve and give back to our community however we can. And
we want to help the community as far as not, what information we have, we don't want to keep it to ourselves, because I want everyone to win. I tell everyone at the end of the day, I just want everyone to be happy.
Yeah, that's it.
That's why my hashtag is Live Life You Deserve.
Yep, exactly. So yes, I love y'all, Black women. I celebrate y'all. I celebrate us.
And did you know that this month is International Black Women's Month? I didn't know that. I just found this out today.
Well, let me go to my husband so he can get me some flowers and stuff.
Right. Elle said Twitter circles, so maybe that's
yes.
Okay.
And then it looks like Adrian said, I'm going to start blogging when I get my life in order. Yes, Adrian, your life is in order enough.
You know what, Adrian? There's not a ton of male bloggers, so I'm telling you, you gotta get in where you fit in, and create the space. I remember when I did a podcast interview, and the guy was like, "Look, video podcast is very, 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 very unheard of. Get your shows on, podcast platforms as video." I was like, okay. So I did, and they were on there for a little bit, and then it just was a lot of work to put them there, and so it fell off. But I tried to, and actually now there are 10, I think, episodes on regular podcasts, and they're on a whole lot of platforms. But
Oh,
We have over 100 episodes, so we're a little behind on
yeah. Yeah.
but so perhaps I'll get it together. But yeah, I really, if I can get to a level, super chat, super stickers, to a level where I can hire somebody, then I can have them place these things all these places. But
Yeah.
for me myself, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
So
It is a lot. It is a lot.
it's a lot. Yeah. And there's only so much, what's the word, like automation I can have. Like I am active on Twitter solely because of automation.
Yeah.
Now, when it's somebody says something to me, obviously I respond,
Right.
but my tweets are completely on autopilot.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, automate, that's my, whenever I tell people what I do on like a regular basis, I have a full-time job. I have, I do coaching. I have freelance jobs. I have other gigs. Like my kids are in school. I volunteer with the Girl Scouts. I was a volleyball coach. They're like, how are you doing all of this? And the reality is, like, I do what I can. I automate what I can. And sometimes it's personal stuff. Like the other night, I was like, listen, I'm going to go to the market and I'm going to get bread and cheese. And I told my daughter, you're going to make grilled cheese sandwiches for dinner. And that's what we had for dinner. And we had chips and, that was dinner. And every night dinner is not going to be roast chicken and broccoli and all that kind of stuff. And, I tell my kids, I need you guys to clean the bathroom downstairs. It's 2 of them. I don't have to do everything in the house. And then and my husband, like right, today's second, every other Saturday, he does the laundry, he folds the clothes and stuff like that. And I used to feel so guilty for that. And now I'm just like, no, I don't touch laundry. He's like, like I actually washed a load of clothes because I just had a whole load. And he was like, these have been in the laundry room for 2 weeks. I'm like, well, you didn't fold them, like that's your job. But you just have to kind of let go of feeling like you have to do everything because you are, a woman. And I feel like there's so much pressure for us. And even for you, Renee, as a caregiver, there are some times when you might just have to call out for dinner. You can't do it, like your mom doesn't feel like cooking.
Well, we have a chef in the house.
Well, you have a chef, so that's a little different.
The chef makes dinner every night, even though she goes to work all day. She makes dinner every night. But Fridays is Renee's night. So Fridays, I pick and we eat. So last night we had Boston Market, and one of us didn't want Boston Market, so they had Chick-fil-A. But and I went and picked up all the food. So Friday was my part. Yeah. And then I told her today, because last Friday we had Red Robin. Let me tell y'all, the Impossible Burger at Red Robin, they should pay me. That mug is so good.
Is it good?
I eat meat.
Okay.
That burger is good. Okay. So we had that last week, and so I told you. I don't know if I talked about. I'm doing Weight Watchers, and Weight Watchers, the French fries at Red Robin is 11 points. So I only get 16 a day. So needless to say, that meal about killed the whole day, right? No big deal. But I didn't do that yet this week, and I told my sister today. I said, I feel like we should have some really crazy food today. so I'm not sure what we're gonna do, but when we finish the show, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I completely was like, I think that's what we should do. And we went and picked up. She's a part of a share. We just started today, so she picked up these fresh vegetables and stuff today.
Yeah.
So I think every week we'll go do that, and so that'll help with what we're gonna have and stuff. But she makes fabulous food, I must tell you guys.
Oh, I love that.
Ashley said she learned a long time ago to delegate.
Yeah, you have to.
Last night they had tomato soup.
Yep. So, and you know what? Tomato soup is good. They were fed. As long as they're fed. My son's birthday is Monday, and I'm like, I went to the store and ordered cupcakes from the market. Normally I would make a cake, and I'm tired this week. And so I ordered the cupcakes, and I'm like, what do you want to eat? He's like, McDonald's. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Normally I'm like, well, don't you want? Nope. He wants McDonald's. We're going to have McDonald's. Thank you.
My sister's birthday is February 12th, which is close to Valentine's Day. And there is a pizza place. It's actually in Chicago too, called Uno's Pizzeria.
Yeah.
Here. And they would always make heart-shaped pizzas for Valentine's Day. And so that was her thing for like the longest.
I love that.
And the 4 of us would go eat at Uno's.
I'm pretty sure I've had a Uno's frozen pizza. I'm not sure, but I feel like I have.
I think I've seen them in the frozen food section.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I completely get it. And the thing is with me is that the one thing I do not bend on is I have to get my workout in. So this morning I woke up and did not feel like getting on the bike. We have a Peloton. And I just was like, as much as I love that Peloton today, I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
So I actually went for a walk this morning. It was cold, but I went out there and I did a walking exercise with Peloton. So you listen, Chase is my guy. Chase Tucker, if you're watching. Chase is my guy. He has this R&B walk. I've done it at least 10 times. So I know exactly what's coming. Jill Scott's on it.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's got Poppin' from Chris Brown, and it's got a Frank Ocean song. It has Icebox by Omarion.
Yes.
Okay? And it finishes off with Snow Allegra. It's the bomb. And it's a 20-minute walk that is about a mile walk for me.
Okay.
And so I listen to the cues in my ears, but just like with Weight Watchers, you get your blue dot when you're in the right amount of point. You get your blue dots for working out with Peloton. So even though I didn't get on the bike, I got my blue dot for today.
I love that.
Guilt in my body will probably make me get on this bike before I go to bed tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not sure yet, but that's my me thing. So I don't break. Like I will do a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things will not get done, but that I have to do.
Yeah, my me thing is also my walks. And I think like at the beginning of the pandemic, I would try to get my kids with me and we would go out to the marina and like walking around is a little over a mile. And like we went and one time they brought the little scooter and it was just like they're screaming at each other and they're, I'm just like, this is not good for me. And so I just was like, you know what? My walk is my thing. I don't have to take them, especially since I would have to like, you guys get dressed. Come on, mommy wants to get out here. Just like, no, I had to start releasing myself of feeling all of this obligation to be everything for everybody at the expense of myself. And I did. And I love going on my walks. They know Saturday mornings, I get up super early, like I go out. Sometimes in the evening, I will go out. Like it's just my thing. And everybody knows that, and they'll say, they're like, can I go? We can go another time, but this is mommy's time. We can do something else when I get back, but first I need to do this. I need to get my mind right. I need to get my body right. I just need this time for myself. And I want it. I want it. Not even just need, I want it. And that's okay.
Yeah. And Elle was saying she was going to skip her exercising today, but now she feels inspired to do it even though she doesn't want to. It gives her peace of mind.
Exactly. It does.
I mean, yeah. I feel great when I'm done. I just could not seem to get myself together to do it today. But I think, like I said, I probably will still. Just like yesterday, I woke up, same thing, but I still got it done.
Yep.
Today, it'll probably still get done because I love the bike. I just need to get on it. Once I get on it, I'm like, okay, I'm done. But yeah. So, and I'm seeing the results. I'm a big results driven person. So as the numbers on the scale keep moving, I'm like, oh, I can do this. This is easy. I can do this. I can keep it going. And then I drink a gallon of water a day. And this, I will put the link in my thing, but this is my $1 million water bottle. It's my hydrate bottle. And this bottle lights up when I drink and it lights up to remind me to drink. And it sends notifications to my phone to remind me to drink.
Oh, yeah. So, put the link in there. I love that.
I own this bottle. I have not missed a gallon of water yet.
Yes. Yeah. I like things that remind me. Mm-hmm. I like things that remind me.
People think I'm crazy, but you know what? It's working.
It works.
My trainer had said back in November, I was saying, I need to lose this much weight. He goes, you need to start drinking more water.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. And so the scale did not move.
Yeah.
The scale has been falling down. Drink my water, count my little points on Weight Watchers.
Exercise. Yeah. It works. Yeah.
Exactly. And
one thing that I want to share too about like exercising and stuff is, and just in life in general, this is another one of my things that I had to kind of realize is that you have to get over feeling like it has to be all or nothing. So sometimes with my walks, especially I was doing like a 40-day walk challenge just personally. And there would be days when I did not feel like doing the whole, I'm like, I don't feel like going all the way up there. And I'm like, but if I get up and at least do half, just like so that I can tell myself like consistency is important. Like this is what I do. I walk, so thinking about the fact that even if you don't do your full, 1 hour workout if you do half an hour. The same for writing. If you don't write a whole, 1,000-word blog post, but you do something that is a 300-word, or you write something, a long status on Instagram, or just something like just doing something every day to keep those muscles working. It's important.
Right. Well, I would do like a 10-minute ride instead of my usual 20 or 30-minute, just because at least I did something.
Right.
So
exactly.
that's my thing. And then I have 12,000 steps a day is my thing. So this week alone, I think I've made that probably 4 days.
Yeah.
Yesterday I didn't make it. Today I really would like to. I'm at 7,000 right now. I have plenty of time to get the other 5. I think I'll make it today. There was one night I looked up and was like 1,800 short, and I was about to watch something on TV, and there's a big TV right here, and that's where this is our little gym is down here too. And so what did I do? I got up, turned it on the TV, and was on the
right. Yep.
And got my steps in before midnight.
Yeah.
I was like, I've lost my mind. But
no, that's good.
With the numbers.
Because when you get your mind, when you work those muscles of of doing something consistently, even if you don't do it to completion, you'll get to a point where doing it to completion is easy. Right. You start thinking of different ways. Oh, let me turn it on the TV. Let me stand up and just do the walk right now. It becomes less of a, oh no, how am I going to do this? And more of a okay, I need to do this.
And when I'm in Chicago at home, I literally get great ideas for my clients, for me, while I walk. Because my excuse used to be, as I work from home from my computer, I don't have time to get up and walk.
Yeah.
I don't have time to leave.
Yeah.
So I would just sit there. And honestly, I would forget to eat half the time too. I wouldn't eat till look.
Yes. Come on, water bottle.
No, I wouldn't eat till 2:00 in the afternoon. So I'd get up at 8 and not eat till 2, because I would just be working. And I started walking 6 to 10 miles a day. And it was amazing. My clients started getting better things, and I started getting better things, because I would think of so much while I was walking, and I would just type it into the phone. If I had to send emails while I was walking, that was fine. I did. But I literally thought of stuff and I executed. And I was like, wow, I can work and exercise. Who knew?
Yeah. Yeah. I get so much clarity when I'm just outside. I like to walk outside. So I get so much clarity when I get out and just by myself, just walking. It's it starts off, you're just walking, and then later your head is just okay. It's just shooting on all cylinders. And you're just yeah, I feel alive. I feel smart. I feel like I'm doing something.
So if people want to be coached by you, how do they do that?
So I'm not accepting any new clients right now, but I do have a group coaching program called Courage to Earn Pro for productivity, revenue, and opportunity. And they can go to courage to earn pro. I'll put the link, and you can join the program. It's a really low, the way that I like to think of it as, it is an inexpensive way for you to get some real support. Yes, that should work. An inexpensive way for you to get some real support. And also it's a great add-on to other more in-depth coaching programs that you do. So, it's really a good add-on to coaching programs. So, Cassandra's Queens of Capital program, which I just think is amazing, where you have to put in a whole lot of work, then you would join Courage to Earn Pro, where I would help you to stay accountable to that work. So it's a good add-on to programs like that. But also just follow me on LinkedIn and Instagram. LinkedIn, you'll see me tagged here if you're on LinkedIn, and Instagram at Brandi Jeter. But I just appreciate you, Renee. I was so excited. I've been telling everybody about, I'm going to be on the doctor.
Wait. It gets better. You guys, I sent her an invite months ago, and she sends me a message back. Was that by mistake?
I know.
I told Eva, and I was like, Brandi didn't think I was really inviting her on the show.
I am so I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to be on this this is such a positive, upbeat platform, and I know
my thing is, they call me Positive Patty because I always think of everything in the best light.
Yeah.
Even when I probably shouldn't, I still do.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I practice the secret, and I tell you that if you think things positively, then positive things will keep coming. But when I suffered depression, I kept thinking those things, so I couldn't get myself out because I just kept falling deeper and deeper
Yeah.
and deeper.
Yeah.
So when I finally flicked the light switch on, everything just kept getting better and better and better. And I mean, I
Yeah.
could be over in the corner boo-hooing about probably 10 things right now, but you know, I have to look at the positives. There's so many
Yeah.
great things happening. And so I just have to you keep it going, it keeps going and flourishing. And you know, Eva's been on the show too. That's why she said Renee does not play. Yeah,
Yes.
she was on, it was about a year ago. She was on the show. And, but yeah, I just, you know, you have to keep flourishing positivity. And
Yeah.
I think there's so many people don't understand. There's so many ways to be happy.
For
And you don't
sure.
have to have $1 million in your bank account to
Yep.
make it happen.
Yep.
And it's crazy how if you follow your passion, the profits will come.
Yep.
And you can flourish.
Yeah.
And change the trajectory of your life, your family's
sure.
life, etc.
Yep.
By just doing exactly what I am a Christian, what God put you here to do.
Yep. That's how I'm telling you, that's been my life. Like when I look at my life, it's like I could not have planned for any of this stuff. I could not have planned for it, you know, from October 27th.
Okay, so you're a Libra?
Scorpio.
Right
okay. On the cusp of Libra. Yeah.
So I'm a Virgo and we're planners.
Oh, yes.
And so for my life to be because it is batshit, as my girl says, it is batshit crazy. And I don't cuss on my stuff usually. But my girl is Miss Winfrey. That's one of her lines. And it's crazy as all get out. Like I by no means would have ever written this out to be this way. But this is the way that he wanted it to be. So this is the way it is. And I'm like, okay, I just have to be okay with it.
Yeah. And being open to it. Like I'm open to whatever, you know, I'm open to
I tell
whatever God has for me.
I just go where the wind blows me.
That's it. Yeah.
I land and I'll be okay.
And I always know when I'm going where I'm not supposed to, because God is like, told you, get your butt over here. And
you know, like you said, with there is invoices that I have from last year that I still have not given paid on. And it's not that we're not in communications. It's happening. It just hasn't happened yet. 60, 90, 120, you know, is real. It is so real, you guys. And she's right. You have to either prepare for it, especially if you don't have a second person.
Yeah.
You have to prepare for it.
You do.
Or you have to be ready for it. You just don't know. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, and you just hope that they pay you in the time they said they would, but you know.
And you have to be honest with yourself. Like I honestly, you know, how I met Cassandra, well, we met on Periscope. But like, I know for me, money is like, has always been kind of a challenge for me, you know? So like, if you're somebody who is really good with your money, then the 30, 60, 90, 120 thing, you probably can figure it out faster than I could at the time. So for me, knowing, okay, it's going to take me a minute to get this together, you have to be honest and say, instead of trying to like fake the funk and pretend to be something you're not, it'll just be easier for me to get a job where I get paid every 2 weeks. And I know how much it's going to be. And then when the other money comes in, we can figure it out. You know, like everybody doesn't have to do that, but some people do. And if you're one of those people, trying not to be one of those people, it's just going to put you into debt and have the IRS knocking at your door. It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, so you just have to, I mean, and so like you know what, Felicia Butterfield Jones was on recently and she works for the Recording Academy. And so she calls herself, and I forgot what it's called. What is it? She works for someone, but she's an entrepreneur. There's a term.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the term, but that's you as well, because you are an entrepreneur, but you also do have a full-time job.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people do that too. And actually, the way I grew up, my dad did that. And I thought that was going to be my life until I didn't have a job. And everyone's like, no, don't go get a job. And I'm like, you crazy? And my first thought, because I have asthma, is, well, I need health insurance. And they were like, well, you can get that figured out too. And I was like, really? And sure enough, look at me now, June 24th, 2013. What is that, 8 years now?
Wow.
It might be
2013, yeah. 8 years, yeah.
And I have health insurance.
Yeah. Yes.
I go to all the same doctors. Because the other thing was, I did not want to all of a sudden have to go to, you know, different doctors because now I'm paying for this health insurance. No, I go to the same people that I went to when I had a day job.
Yeah.
So You know, it's a crazy life. It's not for everyone, but I'm telling you, if you think blogging is a way for you, I'm telling you, blogging can be a great
It
entry into
can.
a lot of amazing opportunities
Yep.
you might not have even ever thought of. I
Yeah.
work with brands that I never would have thought of I'd work with, but I work with them.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? And then they send me a message. I'm like, huh? And I'll never forget, a company asked me to do a 30-second video and paid me like a large sum of money for this 30-second video. They didn't require me to hire a production company or anything. It was, Renee, shoot a real quick video and send it to them. I
Yeah.
was like, really? Just me? Oh, okay. And then they came back again and again. And I was like, wow, okay. You know, so, and it, you know, they say imposter syndrome is very real, and I think it is very real. I'm grateful for the most part. I don't have that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, I can do it. My sister knows I'll fake it till you make it. I
Yeah.
became a publicist and barely knew what that meant, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's
And you know what?
fun.
I do want to share, I'm going to share this with Renee privately and she can share the link. I have a book, How to Work with Brands in 2021,
Oh, yes.
because it is a very honest look at what you need to know. I do want to put out, Renee has been in the game for a minute. I've been in the game for a minute. So what we're able to do is going to look a little bit different than anybody just kind of like starting out, or anybody like making the goal to like, I want to do more of this. So I put everything in there. It's real. So yeah, but I think that there are plenty of opportunities for folks out there. My biggest thing is just like being honest with yourself about what your capabilities are, where you are lacking, and getting support. You know, Renee has coaches, I have coaches, you know, like getting that support, getting feedback. Don't be afraid to tell people like, I'm not sure what I want to do here, or I'm not sure if I should be doing this. Like, you cannot know how to do everything on your own, especially in this industry. There are so many people out there who just have, you know, who have teams. That's how folks are getting it done. They have teams, they have advisors, and folks are given real information.
And you have to quit listening to people that say blogging is dead.
It's not.
And whatever your idea is, oh, it's oversaturated. Don't
It's
listen
not.
to that, because I
Mm-mm.
swear, if you know half the people coming out with t-shirts listen to that, where would we be?
Right.
And you know, and
And
they
I
look
see,
at
and I've
us
had
and do
people
their
say
fair
to
product.
me,
Come on now.
like, I don't want to do a t-shirt company because it's so played out. I'm like, people wear t-shirts all the time. Like, that's an easy sell. T-shirts is an easy sell. I go to the water place, like there's new water company. Like, it's just water. It's just water. Like, but there are new water brands coming out all the time. So if you have a story, if you have something to say, like there is no such thing as oversaturation. There might be oversaturation of people doing the exact same thing, but if you have something unique to bring to it, which if you are an individual person, you do, bring it to it. You know,
Right.
think about what can I share, or even if it's not. When I say unique, it could just be like your voice, because
I was
not
just gonna
everybody
say,
wants to hear
you say
me
it
talk.
differently than other people.
Exactly. And when I read articles, like I've been on this reality TV kick lately. And so when I read articles about these things, I'm reading different articles about the same situations on different platforms, even though it's like a lot of the same information, just because I like the different voices, and you never know if you're going to get something a little bit different. But I think we can stop saying oversaturated now. It's not
Right.
possible. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. I hope that you guys got something, some inspiration, some motivation to do
Yeah.
whatever it is, whatever that idea is, to go do it, because it can bring you profits to pay for whatever it is you need to pay for. And, you know, it might be that, like, this is what Jay the Trader says. He says, trading is what we do, but it's not our thing. It's the thing to get us to our thing. So
Yeah.
trading gives us money so that we can pay for other things.
That's
And so,
it.
you know, if that's starting a nonprofit, if that's, you know, adopting a child, whatever it is for you. So
Yeah.
please, please, please realize that this is not a dress rehearsal. You know, DMX died last Friday. That young man that they just showed the video about in Chicago, how old was
Mhm.
he? You know, life is not promised,
Right.
unfortunately.
Mhm.
And look, if you watch Grey's Anatomy, they pulled over a doctor and completely ransacked his car. And it was like, but these things happen in real life,
In
which is
real
why they
life.
built
Yeah.
that storyline. So
Mhm.
we need to be, on high alert, but we also need to live our lives now because somebody might be standing around the corner trying to take us out.
That's right.
Especially the devil. So therefore,
Yeah.
I've been reading More Than Pretty by Erica Campbell. Love that book. But yeah, so just please, everyone, do. Don't not do. And quit telling people who are going to knock your idea down. Don't tell them your idea.
Yeah.
Try to find your tribe that will uplift you and help you.
Yeah.
Rather than telling someone who's going to say, oh, you can't do it, or the market is oversaturated, or why would somebody buy your product, or why does somebody want to listen to you?
Yeah.
Don't talk to those people.
Yeah.
Because we didn't.
Yep, we didn't. So they try.
Right.
Okay. Well, you're not my audience. Thank you.
Exactly. And move on. Exactly.
Yeah.
So everyone, make sure you follow her. And she does really cute videos. Her videos on Instagram are hilarious. I think they're reels, right?
Yeah, reels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Her reels are hilarious. I love them. I'm tapping on them every day when I see them. And her kids are adorable. So please check her out and check out Courage to Earn. Check out her blog. Courage to Earn community was amazing, but I'm sure that, her program is just as fabulous because the community was so amazing. So check it out, support. And next Saturday, we have Brian Smiley.
Yeah.
Brian is a family friend whom I've known forever, but Brian is the president of Heartbeat Productions, as in Kevin Hart. And so we will hear his journey from Detroit to Hollywood. And all the amazing things he did before he got to Heartbeat Productions, because he's done a lot of amazing things with some pretty amazing people that you probably know in movies you've seen. So please check him out next Saturday, same time, same place. And don't forget to subscribe to my email list if you have not already. It is text 66866, text live life to 66866, and you'll get on the list. So you'll know. And then if you hit the bell, you'll know when we post another video. Could be today, could be tomorrow, who knows? But thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.